Man, back here live on the Countdown to Kickoff show as we're live from Screwballs on a Thursday night. It's Dallas week as the Eagles get ready for the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday afternoon. I don't know, will we get a Dallas sucks tonight from the crowd? Where's Ted? Ted, Dallas sucks tonight? Are we going to get that chant?
Dallas sucks! Dallas sucks! Dallas sucks! Dallas sucks!
All right, Dallas week here. The other Eagles are in the house tonight, and I am so thrilled to have the Eastern Eagles represented again out here at Screwballs. Your Philadelphia Eagles are 8-2. The Eastern Eagles are 9-1. Season number 3, the regular season ends with a 9-1 record. What a year. And now you get ready for the postseason, for the postgame, along with my partner, Warren Schmidt. I want to introduce Corey David, who is the defensive coordinator of Eastern. Big round of applause for Corey David.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir. And then Nate Hingle, who's the assistant head coach and the OC. Nate, great to have you out here as well. And, of course, my partner, Warren Schmidt. Let's get into it, guys. This is a bye week. Coming off what was a tremendous victory down in Maryland to beat Stevenson and put kind of an exclamation point on the season. And now it's time to think about Franklin and Marshall and to get ready for that. So let's start with you. We'll start with you, Coach. What's it been like since the regular season has ended and now you're getting the team ready to go for Franklin and Marshall?
That's been pretty fun. I mean, we've been able to enjoy this a little bit, enjoy winning the conference championship. We've had a bunch of guys recognized this week as conference awards and honors, and then we're jumping right into the film, getting right into Franklin and Marshall this week, kind of getting the game plan together, getting it to the guys, and getting prepared, and also trying to do it the right way, because, again, for a lot of us, it's the first time going through not only the playoffs, but also with a bye week, so it's a little bit different. Usually you're just catching your breath on Thursday, in a typical, 32 format. Now with this 40-man or 40-team format, you do get some teams with a bye, and, so it's been a little bit different, and I like it.
Nate, let me ask you, and then Warren, I'll let you jump in here. Let me ask you, I mean, you've been with Eastern. You were the first hire from the head coach, Billy Crocker. You're Team Zero as well,
sure.
And you're 3 years into what is an amazing finish, and I think an incredible story.
Yeah, absolutely. It just says a lot about our young men that we have here. Says a lot about our university. Every year we kind of assume that, hey, we're going to improve, we're going to get better. What are the goals that we are trying to accomplish? I think maybe this one came a little bit sooner than everyone anticipated. But it just says a lot about our guys. Again, these guys mentioned it after the finish that we had last year to end out with FDU and then come back in fall camp. These guys mentioned, the words conference championship, right? And, our whole mentality was one game at a time, right? And as we got further and further in the season, it started to become a realistic, opportunity. So never did we get too far ahead of ourselves, but, at the time where it came, a real possibility, I think our guys did a great job of still focusing on the moment and the task at hand.
So we talk about it all the time with coaches. Head coach Billy Crocker's not here tonight. He was coach of the year in the MAC, talking about recognition. But you two guys have 15 players on your team that have gotten recognition. We're going to talk about 2 of them real quick. But I always talk about young coaches or coaches in general. They put players in positions to succeed, and you guys have done that. You guys have the MAC Defensive Player of the Year in Jason Bateman, linebacker, and then quarterback Brett Knabb, who we have here tonight, Offensive MAC Player of the Year. Just amazing what you guys have done with these players. I want you guys just to dive in. We'll go with Corey first because the defense have been playing so well. The offense have been doing pretty good, though, Coach. But the defense has just been playing really lights out these last couple weeks. And, Coach, just tell us about some of your other players that you want to give recognition to. And maybe not even the MAC players that got the recognition, but guys like Wayne Clark and some other guys that deserve that recognition too. But one thing about this team, they don't care about it. They just care about that MAC conference. But go in a little bit about some of the players.
No, I mean, up front, we got so many guys that have stepped up in the role. Unfortunately, we had a couple of injuries early. And all of a sudden, we had to kind of got our hand forced a little bit. Hey, we got to play these young guys, and that was a great thing for us. To get Freddie DiNardo and Wayne Clark and Len Blausch, in the mix. At linebacker, we got a kind of a core that that's been in there throughout the season. We kind of get X amount of reps with Drew Campbell, Cole Jones, Chris Forte, Honcho, all these guys work together so well. They learn from each other and they teach each other. And then on the back end, Drew Beckford, and we played numerous corners. Kyrie Irving, Kyrie Taylor has stepped up, many times for us in big moments. And again, a little bit, the next man up mentality. We've had a few injuries here and there, And then TJ and Moody, our leaders for us, have been here from year zero, and been big-time players for us. Again, they've been honored, year in and year out. So again, and then Jason.
Big-time players, Coach. They make big-time plays, don't they?
And then Jason, is, as a player of the year, he's special. And we try to put him in the situations where he's going to do what he does well. So we have a good understanding of what he does well, and we don't try to do too much with him, and we just let him play.
And Coach Hinkle, to the offense, you recruited a lacrosse player to be your quarterback, and he develops into that 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard passer, and he was very close to being a linebacker as well.
Sure.
For you guys. How's that relationship been with Brett? And then obviously you have all the other playmakers, Avrillian, your offensive line, and your receivers we'll talk about a little later. But I want you to just talk about your relationship with not only your quarterback, but with that offense, of how you've molded that offense.
Yeah, with Brett, it's definitely a unique relationship. Thanks for bringing it up, by the way. His dad never lets me forget about that, being a former lacrosse guy and potentially playing defense. So, Brett's a guy just a prime example of battling and continue to grow, right? And continue to put the work in. And everything that he's been recognized for is obviously, recognition on his part for all the hard work he's done, but it's also a testament to his teammates, right? Like, I tell our guys, and I know both Coach David and I say the same thing, is these individual awards are also accolades for our team and our unit, right? Because without the other guys that we have on the field, these guys don't make it happen, And Brett, you mentioned his stat line. It's unusual, right? And it's unique. We make the joke in our meeting room that Brett's really running back one, right? And then you have another guy like PJ, who is the real running back one that complements him so well. But you look at up front, you talk about Cody Green, Justin McNulty, Alvin Gardner. We had guys up front that had over 20 games experience going into this year, right? And so where our side of the ball was a lot more veteran experience, right? And relied on those veterans those first 2 years from year zero, right? Taking those bumps and bruises and those lickings a little bit has really paid off, and these guys are, probably the most mature team in the league.
How different is it now, getting ready for Franklin and Marshall? Is it different? It feels different. We're more excited about it. I'm hyped up about it. But for you, for the players, is it different?
I think so. To what Coach mentioned earlier, too, the bye week absolutely helps, right? We're telling our guys these are extra reps, extra opportunities. One thing I'm telling the offense right now, and I think is what we're feeling as a staff and as a team, is this is house money, right? Like, no one expected this, right? No one expects us to get this far. No one expects us to get a first-round bye. So I think the fact that, we work to get where we're at, beyond everyone's doubts, right? We're playing with house money right now. We have nothing to lose, right? We have everything to gain, nothing to lose. But having the extra opportunities, get guys healthy, get the extra mental reps. Just watching film today after practice you can address things a lot more thoroughly with guys, right? And I think that's the big thing, is you're not speeding through things as much. You get more time to pay attention to details.
To that point, Coach Crocker said that on his coach's show when Joe and I had him on. You guys re-echoed it when I saw you today. You're able to enjoy that MAC conference huge win. I mean, that was a huge emotion after that game. I thought it was great. The last two games, we're able to see you guys celebrate on the field at home and then at Stevenson and have all the MAC guys there and the T-shirts and everything. But that must have been a great ride home. And then know that you're game planning against Franklin and Marshall instead of not knowing who you're game planning against. Does that help you guys out, knowing who you're going to play and then where you're going to go? I think it helps you guys having the two buses go up, stay overnight, business trip. Parents are not involved. Let's go up and get a big road win. I think they're going to have a lot more pressure on them. This is the first time they've ever been in the playoffs as well.
Sure.
And they started playing in 1887. So, and you guys are in year 3.
Sure.
So is that helping you guys in your preparation, or at least that belief that, hey, we can go up and beat these guys?
Yeah, for sure. And I'll just mention quickly, and I'll pass it over to Coach David. Because we know who we're playing, right, we get to be able to dive into that film right away rather than wait until Saturday night, Sunday to get the film of whoever the winner may be, right? And so we're gaining a couple extra days. Coach Davis obviously had the experience of being in the postseason before, so I'll kind of pass it over to him and let him talk a little bit more about that.
No, I mean, the biggest thing right now is, I think, keeping the intensity down a little bit. Because by the time we get to next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we ain't got to say anything to get these guys going. So it's kind of right now, hey, enjoy this. Let's take this in, learn as much as we can. Because once you get, it don't matter Division 1, 2, 3, NFL, you get to the playoffs, the intensity's there. You feel it. And again, you'll see probably next Saturday morning. As you're walking around the field, it's going to be a different feel.
Right.
And it's beautiful.
All right, Corey David, defensive coordinator. Nate Hinkle, assistant head coach, offensive coordinator. One thing, Corey, I want to ask you, and Nate, feel free to comment on it as well. Last thing, the defensive coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, Vic Fangio, at his press conference down at the NovaCare following practice, at the very end of that press conference, referenced and talked about Eastern and the Eastern Eagles finishing up the season 9-1, going into the postseason. Perhaps the greatest defensive mind in the history of the game, perhaps. But he's a hell of a great coach. What was that like to hear that audio coming out of the NovaCare?
I mean, we're all just shocked and kind of laughing and happy. Again, it's one of those ones where, just to have Coach Fangio recognize, us and, what we're doing in the Philadelphia area, because again, he's Phillies fans, he's Philly through and through. To recognize us with what we're doing, it shows what our guys have been putting on the field and the product that they're putting on the field, that other people recognize, hey, there's something going on.
It feels pretty good, right? Nate, feels pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was of his own generosity, right? And to just see that, the first comment.
Which, by the way, he's not saying it if he doesn't want to.
No, that's my point, right? That came out of his own will, and I think the first thing we all kind of said was, "This AI?" Kind of shocked that it even happened in the first place. So very grateful for that. And like Coach mentioned, man, and even he mentioned himself, we're hot right now, right? Who can't help but notice?
All right.
Hey, wait, just so you know, Crocker said he's the number 2 best defensive coordinator. He says you're number 1. So no one makes better adjustments than these two guys at halftime. So it's going to be an exciting week for you guys.
Sure.
All right, good stuff. Countdown to Kickoff show live from Screwballs on a Thursday night. We'll meet some of the players when we come back. And we're back here live at Screwballs on a Thursday night. It's the Countdown to Kickoff show. It's Dallas week for your Philadelphia Eagles. And then, of course, next week, the Eagles will play on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. They will host the Chicago Bears. Eagles 8-2. We'll see how they fare on Sunday down in Dallas. Dak Prescott and that Dallas offense right now, the number 1 offense in the National Football League. Joining us now up here as part of the Countdown to Kickoff show, Brett Knabb is with us, the MAC Offensive Player of the Year, and Big Dom Franks, first team All-MAC, right, Dom?
Yes, sir.
All right, got that. Great to have you guys out here. It's a little bit of a different conversation tonight than it was a few weeks ago. Not only because you're here, but just in general, on campus with your friends, with the coaches. It's playoff week. And as Coach said, you're playing with house money, but there still is a part of you, perhaps all of you, that wants to go up into Lancaster and come home with the big brick team. Brad, I'll start with you first.
Yes, sir. I mean, it would mean so much for us and the Year Zero guys, especially going up there, beating a competitive opponent like that, the conference champion of the Centennial League. It would just be a great honor to go up there and do that.
Dom, your thoughts on it?
I'm just really excited. I love all these guys, and I couldn't imagine anybody else going up there and getting at it.
So one of my great stories that I get to meet these guys pregame is talking to Dom Franks. He has not had one ball targeted to him. He's a tight end. You got to start looking for him down that middle route. Right? We got to talk to Nate Hinkle about some middle route because you'd be open, right? All you do is block for these guys, and it's that selflessness of this team that sets you guys apart. How's the team been after you get that big high of that big bus ride home, having the bye week, but knowing you're going to be at Eastern through Thanksgiving, right? You guys are going to be celebrating. Maybe you get a little time to go home for that day. But no guys, you got a lot of guys that are from all over the country. Those guys are not flying home. How's that been this week? I'll go to you, Brett, and then you, Dom. How the preparation started so far, and what your weekend are you getting the weekend off, and how's it going?
I think having this extra week, the bye week, to prepare and get ahead on game plan, and what we want to do to beat these guys. I think it's big for us to get healthy and all that. And then this week coming up, Thanksgiving weekend. I'm super excited to practice on Thanksgiving Day morning. I think all of our guys are, and guys that don't have a place to go, they're going to come back with guys that do have places to go nearby, local guys, which is cool. I think it says a lot about our team, being able to bring teammates from school back home for Thanksgiving. That's super personal, I just think that shows like the brotherhood and bond we have here, and just the love we have for each other.
Yeah, like Brett said, like with the culture.
And you're one of those guys that families in Florida, yes, so you'll be one of those guys that are going to someone's house.
Absolutely, and I mean, people have offered and everything like that, and it's awesome. I appreciate all of those guys, but I think we're blessed. I think it's blessed to be playing on Thanksgiving weekend, be able to practice on Thanksgiving. Yeah. That's an awesome thing to do right there in itself.
Let me ask you this, point blank, and I get frustrated already when I go on social media and all of the experts are picking Franklin and Marshall to win that game. All the brackets are out. All the experts are and the analysts are saying that Franklin and Marshall on their bracket will beat Eastern. That's tough for me to see. How about for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just it gets us excited and fired up for the game. Obviously, Franklin and Marshall, they've been playing football since 1800s. This is their first playoff appearance like ours. So it makes sense, but those analysts, they're not in our locker room. They're not with us every day. They don't know the type of guys we have on our football team, and I think we're ready to go in there and not shock the world, because it's not shocking for us, but I think we're ready to go in there and handle business for the most part.
9-1 for the Eastern Eagles, 9-1, Warren, for Franklin and Marshall. We talked about it. Though they're a good football team.
They're a real good football team, and they beat John Hopkins on a 2-point conversion. So their coach is a little bit of a riverboat gambler, which is, kind of how Coach Crocker is. Yeah. Very similar. They have a very good quarterback that you guys are going to go against. I'll take your defense over that quarterback. I'll take our quarterback 100%. Over theirs. But you just remember, preseason polls, you guys had one team that voted for you guys to win the MAC, right?
Yeah.
And that was surprising, right, in year 3. So all this team building is one of the coolest things about playing organized sports, whatever it may be. But football's a little different because you're a little sore. You're going through a lot different. And as Coach Crocker says, you have one chance a week to do it, right? So what are you guys going to be doing this weekend to prepare to kind of mentally also like refresh and then come back and hit the practice field next week?
Yeah, I mean, I think this weekend's a chance for a lot of guys to go home and hang out with their families, and I think we know the gauntlet we have prepared ahead of us, starting with Franklin and Marshall. I just think the opportunity we have in front of us, it's gonna have all of our guys locked in for this weekend, getting ready for next week, which is our preparation week for Franklin and Marshall. We'll have our 3 practices and Friday walkthrough up in Lancaster, which will be super cool, and then it's game time from there. Yeah.
Tom, what do you think?
I think that this bye week has really helped us with the mental preparation of it. And, I mean, this is the one game. This is really the only game that you're 1 of 11. I mean, you can't carry the back on your team every single play. You got to rely on those guys in front, on the line, on the outside, on the receivers and everything like that. So, I mean, being on the same page is going to be a big thing, and I think we're more on the same page than ever, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Dom Franks, the first team All-MAC, the big tight end for Eastern University. And Brett Knabb, the quarterback, the MAC Offensive Player of the Year. Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm going to Franklin and Marshall. I'm calling a victory across the Jacob Sports Network on that Saturday. Great stuff. We'll get to a commercial break. We'll jump to the defensive side of the football. Back in a moment. And we're back here live on the Countdown to Kickoff show as we're live at Screwballs on a Thursday night. Eagles week. Eagles in Dallas on Sunday, and the Eastern Eagles with us here in the house tonight. TJ Jackson, the first team All-MAC. Gashawn Moody, first team All-MAC. The defensive side of the football now. Warren joining us here for the Countdown to Kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, Corey David's defense, 2 of the key players are right here, TJ Alston and Gashawn Moody. Gashawn Moody, 3-time MAC Player of the Year. That team won your MAC, All-MAC, which is amazing. The stats that you put up, you've been putting the team on your back lately. I'm going to go to you first, TJ, because we talk about that back half of the defense. That defensive line is getting pressure, but that back half of the defense with you and Jamari, James, and Drew Beckford, and all your other defensive backs back there of locking up that number 1 receiver like you did against Stevenson. Tell us how you guys are preparing for Franklin and Marshall, and do you see anything on film? Because, again, it's great that you guys are able to look at film at Franklin and Marshall. I know their quarterback's pretty good, and I know they have one guy that they like going to. Is your plan you're going to lock him down?
Yeah, so far that's our plan. We just shut down number 3 and then get him out the way because they're their key player. That's his only, so far, threat. After that, we should be fine. They're not really good in a rushing game, so pass-wise, we should be fine. We're number 1 passing defense, so we're going to keep at it.
There was a moment, and Coach Crocker talked about it on the coaches show this week, actually, TJ. There was a moment in time where Coach Crocker had a hard conversation with the back half of the defense. And since that conversation, you guys have been playing lights out.
So, when he had the conversation with us, is like, we know who we are. We know who our opponents are. We know what we can do. We know what everyone else can do. And so far, we've been a better group of the conference, and it's always been like that since last year, the first year, this year, any year. So when we heard that, we utilized that, and after that, it's just been history.
Well, I actually remember the conversation he had with us, and he just told us you guys could do it. Like, it's no magic to it. Y'all are the magic. So I feel like we all took that and we just played better, and we played with more heart, honestly.
And also, Coach Corey David was talking about it, and I talk about good coaches put players in situations to make plays, and him putting you down in the box, making you move down from that safety position, putting you on that end. You had a little less tackles, but not in these last couple games. I mean, you've just been a man possessed. Interceptions, tackle for loss, safeties, INTs, sacks, 11 tackles, just, mind-blowing stats. How's that been of you moving around the field and you just being allowed to, hey, Gashawn, when the ball snapped, Gashawn Moody's going to make that tackle. How's that been for you mentally and obviously physically on the field?
Mentally, honestly, I love it because I'm all over the field now, and I can make more plays, and I can do more, and I'm in a position where I can succeed more. So honestly, if they throw me in a position they think I'm better at, or they think I can get more tackles, or if it takes less tackles for us to win, that's what I'm doing.
Sean, I got to ask you, and I'm going to put you on the spot. So I'm looking for number 7 to get 7 on the big INT at the last regular season game at Radnor Road, and Gashawn Moody is running across the field and then runs out of gas. What happened on that play? Great interception. Were you looking at the end zone? What happened?
All right, look. All right. I'm gonna tell the truth here.
All right.
Had to look on film.
I caught the interception, and I'm running. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna run right to the end zone. I see a guy get off a block, so I cut across field, and one of the guys hit my helmet, and my helmet turned to the side. So I'm trying to catch my balance and trying to find where I'm at. So when my helmet finally slid back over, I done tripped over my feet already.
Well, it was great stuff. It was a good call. I wanted to call 7 for 7, but well done, TJ. Well done, man. Keep shutting them down. Gashawn, we'll see you in Lancaster on the 29th. Looking forward to a big game and a big win, a big W for the Eastern Eagles, man. Well done.
We're definitely going to shock the world, and we're going to shock the whole D3. Whoever doubting us, we got something for Franklin and Marshall. We coming.
All right, we coming. Great stuff. Gashawn Moody, TJ Jackson, well done, man. Appreciate it. We'll take a break. When we come back, John Nolik will join us, and we'll bring John up on the set as we roll along. It's the Countdown to Kickoff show. Back in a moment. And we're back here live on a Thursday night. It's the Countdown to Kickoff show, Dallas week. And we're also blessed to be able to have members of the Eastern Eagles with us tonight. They're in a bye week. They finished up the regular season 9-1, and they get ready for Franklin Marshall 1 week from Saturday. And that game could come down to 3 or 4 specific plays in the game. And that guy, John Nolik, might be a variable in that game.
Hey, John Nolik is definitely one of the weapons of Eastern. He made a huge field goal at Stevenson when the offense was sputtering a little bit. 41-yarder down at Stevenson in the cold, rainy weather to make it 7-3, and then made a huge extra point at the end there to make it a 2-score game. I don't know why. We talked about this before. They keep icing him, and he keeps making those kicks. But, John, we'll get to Cody as well. Real quick, I just want to – what was your journey like when you were getting recruited, and why did you choose Eastern? I didn't get a chance to ask the other guys, but I thought I'd ask you. Being a kicker is a little different. You get to hang with the 2 other guys, the punter and the long snapper. What's your life or what's your journey been getting to Eastern and then now heading past your junior year?
Yeah, so when I was getting recruited, it was a little different for me. So I was also a soccer player. I had offers to play soccer and football. But once I met Coach Crocker, I learned about the opportunity at Eastern. I loved the campus. I fell in love with campus the second I stepped on the, through the entrance, really. And, Coach Crocker made me an offer I really couldn't refuse. I remember I was in the car, and I could not pass it up. I couldn't stop thinking about Eastern. So I was at a soccer tournament, and a coach came up to me and said, hey, we want to offer you a spot on the roster. And I said, well, I'm a football player. So about a week later, I committed here. And like I said, I couldn't pass it up. The opportunity here has been amazing. Seeing the team grow from, no stadium at all at Valley Forge. And now we're, MAC champions. And to be a part of that is something really special. And I couldn't have done it without, the O-line and Cody blocking off field goal. Sean McNamara and John Westfield, the long snapper and punter. I mean, they've been great support, but Coach Crocker has done a great job.
Yeah, what's great about those 2 guys is Sean McNamara, first-team All-MAC. John Westfield, the punter, who also plays on the baseball team, first-team All-MAC. And congratulations to you, second-team All-MAC. You've come a long way from that first year.
Yeah, the first year it was a little rough. We weren't scoring much, so I wasn't seeing the field much, but definitely think I've grown a lot over the last 3 years, and I give a credit to the coaching staff and to my support. Like I said, the O-line Cody's done a great job. Don Franks, you just had on, he's done a great job off the wing, and he always says he would die for me on field goal. So having that is, a big confidence booster when you go out there for 3 points.
Yeah, really good stuff. Let's get Cody Green into the conversation. I got to take a selfie with you, brother. I want to send it to your pop. What's it been like for you? Just being part of this unfolding now in real time in today's world. The team is 9-1, and you're now preparing for postseason. Pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. Just seeing the growth and development from year 0 when there was nothing here. We didn't even have our uniforms here yet. No stadium, like John said, and just being able to do it with the guys that was first recruited here, year 0. Just building chemistry. Getting to know each other, all that just came together. And after last year, after our last game, I knew that this year was going to be special. So,
yeah, it's really interesting to a player and to a coach, and perhaps John, even to your father and your mother. The FDU win a year ago was the springboard for the start. I don't know if that's an accurate statement, but it certainly feels that way.
Absolutely. I think it's a year before. I think when they went down to Stevenson, when they only had 2 wins.
Yeah, but that game, that game was special.
Yeah, no, I know. They lose in overtime. But that next Monday, this whole team was in the weight room saying, hey, we're ready for year 2. And then obviously that FDU game, you're down, 33-19 and won 35-33. That definitely springboarded the team into what you guys are doing this year. And it's great to see. Now, you've been dealing with injuries, Cody. Let's get back to you and that offensive line. And you have 2 offensive linemen that were first-team All-MAC, Alvin Carpenter and Justin McNulty. Dealing with injuries is one of the toughest things to go through as a football player. But you're back on the field, back solidifying this offensive line. How is that offensive line feeling? Because you guys only get mentioned when there's a holding penalty, right? But we see it, how you're keeping that pocket there for Brett Knapp and blocking for Jeremiah Brilliant and Curtis Johnson and Naseek Smith on those jet sweeps. How's the offensive line feeling, and how are they looking forward to matching up against Franklin and Marshall?
The offensive line is feeling amazing. I feel like this year we have more chemistry than ever. We always hang out every Friday, so that also helps with the chemistry. But everybody is very excited, very just looking forward to the opportunity to be able to play F&M. And we just want to take advantage of the opportunity, because this is something that we've been working for, so we don't want to get here and waste it. So everybody's just happy, glad, but they're very hungry, and I think that's the best part of it.
John Nolik, last question for you, and then we'll take a break here on the Countdown to Kickoff show. In your dream, or in your alone time, getting ready for this game, do you envision the opportunity to win it falling on your shoulder?
Yeah, I think when you think of kicking the game-winning kick, kicking an important kick, you're manifesting it in a way. When I visualize Sean Mack with a perfect snap, Brett Knapp, perfect hold. I got to shout out him too. But just you envision that opportunity, and the more you envision it, the more you practice it in your head. I believe that you're going to go out and execute it.
All right, good stuff. Well, we'll see you guys on Saturday the 29th. F&M, welcome to the NCAA second round of the playoffs. We'll take a commercial break. Back in a moment. And we're back here live on the Countdown to Kickoff show on a Thursday night. Dallas week for your Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles 8-2. They go into Dallas 4-5-1, and the number 1 offense in the National Football League. We're talking Eastern football. What a great lineup of players and coaches that we had join us here tonight out at Screwballs on the Countdown to Kickoff show. And we finish it up with the athletic director, Brian Bingham, joins us here up on set. Brian, great stuff, man. I mean, when you listen and you hear all of the players and the coaches talking about this program and where they are, how does that resonate with you? Is it on point? Is it what you expect them to say? Talk about that.
No, I mean, it's, anytime that you get where we're at as quick as we did, it's always a blessing, right? And I think I have a different perspective because I wasn't the athletic director at this point last year, right? I was a strength coach for the last couple of years. I got to be involved with the process and seeing how we did it right. So, seeing all the work that went behind the scenes and then hearing the guys talk about it and how we've grown together and we've gone through all those struggles, it's awesome. It's just so exciting, and, the trajectory of where we are and the momentum that we have, it's just, I talked to Coach Crocker about it before, like, winning is awesome. I love to win. Winning with football is a whole nother level. So, I hope we can continue to keep it going, get ourselves ready for practice and go out and compete and do the best that we can.
So with Dr. Kenton Sparks and Dr. Ron Matthews, who had that vision of bringing football to Eastern and then hiring Coach Billy Crocker, right now you're sitting at 9-1, athletic director. You still have all these other sports, but you have 15 players that got MAC recognition, as well as Coach Billy Crocker, head coach of the year. You got to take a step back and say, wow, we're doing everything right. How is this week going to be a little different for you guys with Thanksgiving and the scheduling? Not to really dive into it, but how's your week looking for all fun stuff of scheduling a playoff game out at Lancaster against Franklin and Marshall?
Well, it's all the other stuff on my end. It's helping with the preparation and all the stuff that goes into it, the team travel, the logistics of going to F&M, all those different things. And plus, when you go to an NCAA playoff games, there's different rules and how they kind of operate, and things are a little bit tighter. So getting ourselves prepared, get as ahead of it as we can, just like those guys are doing the game planning. I'm talking with Coach every single day to find out what we need to do, like random things about sideline heaters and how we're going to hook up replay and all these different things that kind of go into it. But it is also a time where we kind of get to relax and breathe a little bit, because we put bids in to try to host. So we were hoping that the game was going to come back to us. Obviously blessed that we're going to get that bye, because we definitely need it and we need some time to kind of prepare. But we were ready to host the game if needed this weekend. So, again, for us, it's the same thing. It's the same preparation I think they put on the same side with football. We're just doing it on the administrative side.
I hate to ask the question, but I'm going to do it anyway. How incredible would it be, Ryan, to win that first playoff game on the 29th?
That's the goal, right?
It's the goal, but how incredible would it be when that goal comes to reality?
Yeah, but it's also the hard work and the preparation, and there's no pressure on Saturday. The pressure is it's behind us. It's all the stuff that we did day in and day out. It's all the stuff we did last winter when we were doing 6 a.m. workouts and the guys were in there grinding. This is what you're ready for, right? I know we talked about winning games and getting better, but at the end of the day, this was the goal. It's always been the goal. We're just there a little bit quicker than we thought we were going to be.
I'll tell you, I feel a lot better about talking to the players about them winning this game, because it's a quiet confidence, and it's about when they're looking at film, there's no one that really scares them, because they've had those games against Del Val, against Stevenson, against Kings, and no one, I tell you right now, no one does a better job of adapting. We talk about it all the time when that first half is always choppy, and then Eastern comes out and dominates that second half. We have Corey David in here and Nate Hinkle and obviously Billy Crocker and all the coaches. Those halftime adjustments, I don't think Franklin and Marshall is going to know what hit them. And I think all the pressure really is on Franklin and Marshall. It's a home game. It's a beautiful stadium up there. First time they've ever been in the playoffs. They've never, they've had a great season, but so are you guys, right? So I really think you guys are going to unload up there and really unload a good game. And it's not going to be one of those things where, you guys aren't going to represent Eastern well.
No, and that's what we've done all year, right? The big thing is we're going to go up, we're going to compete, we're going to play the game the way it's supposed to be played, we're going to, block, tackle, block to the edge of the whistle, all the stuff that you're supposed to do, all the things that we've been trained to do. So, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we got.
Brian Bingham, the athletic director.
Before we go, can I say one more thing?
You can.
All right, listen. Right, we might be the hottest team in Philly right now, according to Vic Fangio, right? Then you got the Eagles. But I do have to say that my Haverford Youth Football 7U team That's
there
right.
you go.
Won the championship the other day, 11-0.
Wow, that's great stuff. And that's great transition because that allows me to give one more shout out tonight before we get off the air. One shout out to a halfback and a cornerback who plays football at North Penn High School. His name is Matt Pinnell. He's at GA, or the GA finals are against Penridge on Friday night, and Matt is a Navy commit for 2026. So big shout out for Matt Pinnell. Shout out to your team as well. And one last big shout out for the Eastern Eagles on the way to the playoffs on the 29th. See you next time, everyone.